Hello there, Big Benedict here. We're playing Uncharted 2 Remastered on brutal difficulty. This is my guide and walkthrough. We're currently on chapter 3 of 22. It is entitled Borneo. Borneo is actually an island divided between Brunei, Indonesia, and Malaysia. There is a lot of tropical rainforests there, and I believe that's what they were trying to depict at the beginning of the game over here, starting on chapter 3 and 4, because we are going to be in this rainforest for those two chapters that I mentioned. So we are going to be doing a little bit of stealth at first, as much as we possibly can. There are no sections in this chapter that you can completely stealth. So the first gunfight up here that you do is rather difficult. Now, let me correct myself. Actually, there are a couple parts when there's just like two people that you can stealth. So you want to be patient here. Anytime there's more than like two people, you're not going to be able to get away with the stealth. Now, the pirate's body language, or if you're playing with Nathan Drake or whatever skin, whatever character you're using, when you are able to drag an enemy or kick an enemy from the side, his body language will tell you that you can do that. If his body language doesn't change, the way he moves his arms, then forget it. You won't be able to do it. This is a really difficult part. Now, this is probably the first part of Brutal where you might think about giving up, but it's not that difficult. The only problem after you take care of those two guys, try to shoot this guy in the back if you can. 3 shots will take him down. See this guy right over here? He's the main problem because he could shoot you through the tree leaves over here, so you've got to be particularly careful over here. Now, remember when I said that the third person corner trick doesn't work? You had to toss a grenade, didn't you? Right on that log, you log of shit. The third person cover trick, it does work. Okay, it's just not as good as it was before. So you just want to stealth kill the first two guys, take care of the guy to the left. And then, I mean, be exceedingly careful about the guy in the upper right. Because, like I said, he can shoot through the tree leaves. But you can do the same thing, and he doesn't get protection from the leaves. So, don't worry about that. Now, this is the final guy. And you can see how well blind fire works over here. One of these guys is going to drop an AK-47 for you. And this cannot be stealthed. There was only one time when I initially came into this area where I was able to get up on this pole over here and swing off of it, but I got seen. I think it had something to do with it being the first time I ever got here. Like, I was able to get up here and swing over here, but he saw me. But even getting to that pole isn't virtually impossible. As is this next part. You're gonna get seen. It doesn't matter. You might think you can get away with it, but there's just no being stealthy about it. So Sully needs a platform to get up here. We're gonna give him one with this rock, and he's going to be able to rejoin us. This is where you get your next checkpoint. You're going to be crossing this this tree, and even if you get to cover quickly and they don't see you, you're gonna get seen. So if you have to aim in this game, you have to do it very quickly, like take one shot and then just back off, because you're gonna get put down. Brutal difficulty makes me chuckle, actually, just because you get put down so fucking fast. It's not funny, man. It's just not funny. Anyway, there's gonna be one guy that jumps up here, and then one guy that remains down there. I actually got away with a melee takedown on this guy, so that was fortunate. And then there's just one final guy over here before you get yourself a checkpoint. Here he is right over here. Blind fire is pretty good because you're really close to this guy. And remember what I mentioned about switching weapons in the last game? The same rules apply to this game. So if you haven't seen my Uncharted 1 walkthrough for brutal difficulty, my project, the Redux, The way to maximize your ammunition is to switch to a weapon that you don't have and then switch to something that you want. But do not switch to what you dropped to switch between what you don't want. I'll talk about that. I know it sounds complicated. Just for instance, if you want another fresh AK-47, you want to switch to a shotgun first and then pick up another AK-47 that you didn't drop to switch to the shotgun. That's all I meant. So this is the next section, and again, you can take 2 people out, but that's the extent of it. Now this is where you need to just wait for this guy to approach you over here and watch the pirate's body language change. See how he changed his body language? That tells you that you can shoot people. Now there's one guy up and to the right where that waterfall is. He goes over to the right to do something, and then he comes back. I wish that he would just go all the way over to the right, turn around, and just take an eternal piss. And then I could focus on maybe going over to that guy and stealthing him that I just killed with that that barrel, and then go back over to the guy who's flowing a never-ending stream of urine over there. But now, after you've taken care of those 4 enemies, there's going to be enemies over here to the left that you need to dispatch. There's 2 waves. This is the first wave over here. See how this cover trick works? But just be careful, because that guy can shoot you through that little sliver of open space that you saw me shooting through right there. See the box that Sully's hiding behind? Well, that's actually kind of getting in my way. So when it gets destroyed, I'm going to be happy that it's out of my way. These things here, those canisters, or those little boxes of explosives, they take a lot of regular pistol rounds to shoot. So the best thing to do is shoot them with your primary weapon, which is the weapon on the right slot. So now that everybody's dead, what you want to do, I would probably say, is to go pick up the Magnum, because you're going to have to be doing close range combat with enemies, and if you blind fire with the Magnum, you can instantly kill them if you hit them. So now what you want to do, I would probably switch. Oh, there's one guy left. I would probably switch here from the Defender that we have now to the Magnum, which is up here to the right. You don't have to, but it could really help you out. They're going to take away your guns in between the next 2 chapters anyway, so it hardly matters. But now this is the next wave, and you don't get a checkpoint. But if you hold your position over here, you can really dominate with the Magnum, because the closer enemies are, the easier it is to blind fire or kill them. And you know, with the Magnum, it's a one-shot kill. So enemies will kind of come up to you, flank you from the left and from the right, and don't be. Look at that! Sully went right through the cover like he's a ghost. Are you a ghost, man? Did you see that though? That was hilarious. That was. I wish I could do that. But anyway, so there's just a couple guys left, and like I said, I always am in the habit of reconnoitering the environment, picking up things that I want, switching my weapons out. So I did do that, but I'm telling you that they're gonna take your weapons away anyway, so you don't have to worry about it too much. And now, with respect to them tossing, the grenades are very fair. I don't think I mentioned that throughout the whole campaign, did I? Yeah, I did on the last campaign. The grenades are very fair for you. There's not much splash radius, and they don't outright kill you unless they're like right next to you. So they're quite fair, and that's really important, because you know, if you're trapped behind that log that we're just in, you know, you don't have very many opportunities to get the hell out of there. But these are the sites of the 3 boxes that you need to press, or excuse me, the 4 of them. So those are the 4 locations right over there. And now we're going to be doing a melee tutorial over here, and I believe you are going to lose all of your weapons. You're going to get plenty on the next chapter, so don't really worry about it too much. Another thing that they've really changed between the first and second game is getting critical headshots on enemies. I could get critical headshots on enemies in Uncharted 1 all of the time. Like, I'm talking about so often. There's an edit right there because I went up that ladder to see if there was anything I might want. There ended up not being anything out there. But in this game, there still is such a thing as a critical headshot in this game, but the frequency that you get them is just not the same as in Uncharted 1. It's significantly less. So your gun gets tossed away from you. I had an AK-47 over here, I'm not sure what happened to it. Here's the melee combat. All you need to do is just mash square and press triangle to counter. And the prompts do appear on... See, how does that kill somebody? If you just throw them up over your back, it just kills them. Sometimes the pirate will just push people, like push them down in front of him, and then they're dead. It's kind of funny how they just die like that. And this pirate, man, he's got his own like profanity and stuff like that. This pirate kicks ass, man. Now, at this point in the story, Sully mentions the word frivolity, and Nathan didn't seem to know what it meant. So if you don't know what it means, it just means a lack of being serious or something that's unnecessarily silly. So if you didn't know what that word means, now you know, and knowing is half of the battle. Take care.